I want to welcome all of you first. I appreciate you making time for us on a Thursday afternoon. We're super excited to bring a whole lot of content to you. And I know some of you don't know who I am. Hey, Helen. My name is Amy Stair, and I'm the CEO of Star Power. And we are going to drop a lot of content on you today. And I want to start out by saying this is what Star Power is all about. And what I'm so proud of and humbled to be a part of is that a man had a vision in 1989 to go out and find the top producers in this industry and get them to share their best practices, what's working right now for them to be successful. And then he took that and he distilled it out into the industry back in the day on a cassette tape of all things. Some of you were born after cassette tapes went away. Maybe Lana, she looks pretty young. Um, anyway, the premise of what that man created, Howard Brinton, back in 1989, is as relevant, if not more so today than it was when Star Power was originally created. So we are absolutely thrilled to be able to bring to you exactly what Star Power is all about. We've got four extremely talented people here today who are going to share very diverse approaches to this real estate business and what exactly they're doing to be successful. And I'm just honored to be a part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And in addition, when we get to Liz, I know she's got some slides to share, so we'll swing over to her. We encourage you to put questions in the chat. We'll be here and are monitoring that so that we can get those questions answered for you along the way. You don't need to wait till the end. And let's just jump right in. So Star Power, like I said, is all about sharing of best practices from top producing agents. And the thing I love about the stars you're meeting today is they are so willing and excited to tell you exactly what they're doing to be successful. So let me just address what's happening in the market first. We all know that the market has changed. The days of the heyday COVID craziness, 34 offers on a property, people standing in line to go in to see it are long gone. And in 2026, we not only have a shift in the market in most markets, we also have what's going on in the world. We also have AI, which has rapidly jumped in its abilities in like by the week now. I don't know if you guys are watching and paying attention, but AI just leaps and bounds, continues to grow in its capabilities. And so I think it was Eric Post from Whoosy who said, you know, your competition is not AI. Your competition is not agents using AI. What you have to be worried about now is the AI empowered consumer. And what I'm so excited these four stars are going to bring to you today is exactly how they have evolved and adapted their businesses, not just to accommodate market shifts, but also to understand that today's AI empowered consumer is coming much more prepared, much more educated, and dare I say, much more in need of you as a professional. So let me introduce you to these wonderful instructors. They're not here to tell you you have to be on video all the time. They're not here to tell you that you should live in the world of AI. They're here to tell you get connected to the humans and maintain those human relationships using the tools available. So Samia Morgan, Liz Turnbaugh, Fetterman, Omar Rashid, who is desperately trying to get to us from traffic, and Barry
I'm
Jenkins.
here.
Oh, yay! I see you now, Omer. Thank you. And Barry Jenkins, who wears a couple of major hats, are all here today to share with you guys. Let me just talk about Omer for 1 second. Here's a guy, and I'm totally distilling this down to a few minutes. And another thing I love about Star Power, and if you're not in the club, you need to get in the club because these guys, their interviews are dropping literally every 2 weeks. So at one end of the spectrum, we've got Omer, who's not even been in the business. His 7 year itch hasn't even come yet. He came here as a teenager to the United States from Ethiopia. He thought he was going to go get educated to be a doctor. COVID hit, and he discovered a YouTube video from a realtor and some social media from a realtor. And he said, I think I can do that. And he reached out, got himself an opportunity to go shadow somebody who became his mentor in a team he joined. Is it fair to say, Omer, you are now a millionaire in this business? And in 6 short years, you went from absolute zero to killing it. You did $11 million just on TikTok alone last year. And you are on track to go from 22 to what, 40 million this year in your real estate business?
Amy hypes me up, but yes, 100%.
I love it. I'm not hyping, I'm just telling facts, ladies and gents. Barry, I'm going to pick on you next. Barry was actually a pastor in his past life,
Yep.
got into real estate, figured out he could be really good at it. And Barry, give us the team profile before we talk about your second hat you wear with Ylopo. Just give us the team profile of what you're currently managing in real estate today.
I have a 95 agent team and a 6 agent team at two different brokerages in the same city. And we sell, one of them sells between 600 and 800 homes a year. The other helps me acquire 3 to 5 flip acquisition properties a month. So staying pretty busy.
A little bit. And then on top of that, you became what is it, the in-house real estate expert for Ylopo, who
Uh,
delivers an
so
amazing AI tool for realtors for lead acquisition and conversion. Talk
Yeah, so
a
I'm
little
I'm
bit.
the head realtor in residence at a
There
company
it
for
is.
Ylopo, and it's I've been doing that for 9 years. And there has not been a product launch in 9 years that I have not been neck deep in both ideating, innovating, executing, alpha testing, beta testing, training our users, and really just honing my craft as a team owner, leveraging technology and building the product. And now we have 25,000 incredible customers across the country that I have the honor of serving. And
Wonderful.
yeah, so absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, he wrote this awesome book, Too Nice for Sales. Everybody should pick it up. It's a great read, and it's going to tie into what Barry's going to talk about today, which is even with all this technology and all these tools, this is a relationship business, and you've got to build trust with people in order to move forward and be successful. So, Barry, thanks for being here today.
Absolutely.
I'd like to turn to Liz next. Liz Turnbaugh Fetterman is outside of Chicago. She has been a dominant listing agent, and she took a brilliant approach as she built out. By the way, she owns multiple businesses, and Liz, I'll have you speak to that real quick if you would. She discovered that other people's reviews and advocacy of your success is far more powerful than you tooting your own horn. And so Liz has mastered getting other people to jump in and advocate on her behalf. And she's going to share about that today. Liz, could you just cover real quickly your many business hats you're wearing? Oh, you're muted.
Hold on. How's that better?
Perfect.
Okay. I started in real estate 5 years ago. My first year, I had one sale, $379,000. I just finished out 2025 at 38 million in sales. So it's been a nice, fun ride. And real estate really is my primary focus, but I do own a restaurant and I also own a charcuterie catering service as well. And I work to make all the businesses help and create brand awareness for me so that I can do more in real estate.
And you have a big blended family that you enjoy spending time with. So you're not all work all day
Yes.
long.
Nope, I have 5 kids who know to be very quiet right now during this call.
I love it. I'm honored, and I saved for last one of my all-time favorite people on the planet, and that is Samia Morgan, who is out of the San Francisco Bay Area. Here is a woman with a brilliant business mind who has ridden out every possible market condition you can imagine over 38 years. She's navigated raising kids, having breast cancer, a husband in a different industry being successful, and she is on it in terms of what's the latest and greatest and what we need to do from a technology standpoint while maintaining an excellent level of customer service. And let me say this about Samia. She has the most curious mind, She would run any 20 something into the ground. I mean, Omer, she could probably go toe to toe with you at this point. And so, Samia, I just want to also mention that she specializes in military. She still helps first-time home buyers after 38 years in the business. And she also made a shift to a luxury focus in the midst of all that. So she's continuing to serve wherever her people need her, but has rebranded herself very powerfully for the luxury market. Samia, did I leave anything out there that you'd like to share as we kick this off? You're muted as well, dear.
You're just embarrassing the heck out of me, but thank you so much for a kind introduction. I also work with seniors. I think the first-time buyers and seniors don't believe they know everything, like some other people in our industry who just think they know everything. And like Eric Post said, it's the people who use AI who are gonna, challenge you the most. And my middle name is ABL, always be learning. So
Love it.
got into real estate, I was in tech. I was at Apple, I was at other software companies, hardware companies, and I just needed to get out of the politics and have more balance in my life. And I told my doctor I'm going to go in real estate, and he laughed his head off. And he said, "You're doing what?" So, but I love real estate. I'm still very passionate about what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is always learning and expanding and questioning and never rest on your laurels. That's the worst thing we could do as realtors.
Love that. So thank you, all four of you, for giving so generously and repeatedly of your time and your brilliance. While there are plenty of people on this Zoom that I recognize, there are quite a few names that I've never seen before. And so I just want to be clear, what you're not going to get today is a bunch of motivational hype. These are guys that are in the trenches right now. They're doing it and they're going to get straight to brass tacks. They are going to tell you exactly what they're doing. And so please question, please ask for what you need from them because they're here to give the meat and potatoes of what it takes to be successful. So these are real examples with real results. Every single one of them is out the door in front of a client yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And my hope for you is that you get clear and actionable takeaways today. We can all get excited and have fun and meet interesting people, but at the end of the day, if you don't take something you learned today and put it to work and get successful, then we haven't done our job as an organization. So that's my mission for you guys today. We did promise, and we will give you at the end of this call, we've built a custom GPT based on something Omer's going to teach you about that will give you a daily real estate market intelligence report. But you got to hang with us till the end, and we'll give you a QR code so you can pick that up. Now, Omer, I'm going to put you first in the spotlight, if I may. Already bragged about what you've been able to accomplish, but can you start by just speaking a little bit to what you did on TikTok to get 11 million in sales?
Yeah, so again, sorry guys, like DC traffic is the most unpredictable thing in the world. So typically I'd have a nice camera set up at my studio for you guys. But really for me, again, being younger in the business and kind of starting off hearing about, cold calling or door knocking and all these different options of getting business. I happen to stumble upon social media. I think it comes a little bit natural, a little bit to like the Gen Z millennial side of things. So I started posting content on TikTok, not really knowing what I was doing or expecting a bunch of, new, leads, whether sellers or buyers coming in through that. But I just started posting, learning, just the basic stuff. Here's how you buy a house with an FHA loan. Here's what a bridge loan is. Like the most basic stuff to us as realtors, but to the average everyday consumer, they're like, oh my God, this is great information. And I had some videos that just started getting a lot of traction, especially this one time in DC. I made a specific video about a program that DC had for police officers, and I had an inbox full of police officers on TikTok in DC. So really for me, it's been a lot of educating buyers on TikTok directly, getting clients off of that, and then also a lot of property tour videos. I like to say I want my pages to be the Zillow of DC, right? I want them to come on my page and be able to see houses in Arlington, condos, townhouses, whatever it is. So really a mix of both educational content, and I like to call them hype property tour videos, are kind of what got me, my feet started, and then really just started to double down on scale from there. And then from there, we started really taking it to the next level from Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but that's kind of how it started.
Okay, give us one specific example of one of those hype tours. What did you do that's different from the standard?
Honestly, beside, I mean, you might see it a lot more often now, but I'm never doing like welcome to my listing at 4432. And again, back then, and even now, most of the videos I'm doing aren't at my listing specifically. Like I'm just finding properties that I find interesting, whether it's nice luxury ones, whether it's interesting ones, whether it's here's my best priced home for the week, just something that people can look forward to and are interested in. I would do property tour videos. I would do voiceovers on them. So I'm really kind of walking them through it. So it's not just like, a boring video where it's just like music, whatever. It's like I'm educating. I'm like, here's how much it would actually cost for you to buy this beautiful 1 bedroom, 1 bath condo in Washington, D.C. for $450,000. And I'm kind of just doing it over the video as it's going. I'm editing everything on CapCut, keeping it small, simple, and easy, which Amy, by the way, we should do like a full editing / tutorial class at some point. But yeah, that's kind
I'm
of
going to
that's
take
kind
you
of my
up on that,
style.
dear.
Yeah, absolutely.
CapCut with Omer, who's in?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for that. And anybody can find you on socials. What is your handle? Well, if you want to drop them all in the chat later, when we're working with one of the other speakers, feel free to do that, Omer. I don't want you to do it while
Totally.
and maybe Alyssa can grab a couple of them for you guys too. But we want you to go directly to the content he's talking about, see it firsthand. And if you're in the club, by the way, you can go to the newsletter and there are hyperlinks right to Omer's content. So every single one of these speakers today has been interviewed and is in the club, and you can go right to their newsletter, click the hyperlinks, and get to their stuff. That's one of the cool things about our club. So, Omer, let's jump into some of your techniques when you're shooting video. You've talked about the phone first setup.
Yes. So I am a firm believer, and I say this all the time. Amy's probably sick and tired of hearing it, but
Never.
I genuinely think that the only thing you guys need to actually make content is an iPhone. That's it. If you have an Android, maybe not. I'm
Be
kidding.
nice.
Android works just as good, but right now there's a stigma of like, oh, I need to go spend $3,000 on a videographer and a cameraman and do all this and kind of really overcomplicate and overstimulate what the content creation side looks like for realtors. But I'm here to tell you again, as somebody that owns a media agency, a real estate media agency, and I would actually be benefiting from telling you guys, hey, no, you should go hire a videographer for $3,000 a month. I'm telling you, all you really need off the bat is your iPhone and a $20 gimbal off of Amazon. I'll send the link right here in this chat, and a DJI mic for $150 that you will use for the rest of your life, and that is it. You could do every type of video that you need, and you would actually be surprised the content that you do on your iPhone does and performs better than the ones you shoot high end on a nice camera. We have FX3, we have an FX3, we have Canon R8s, R6s, all these nice lenses, 10, $15,000 cameras. And I promise you, the videos I do on my iPhone are always the ones that actually get the engagement and actually blow up compared to those. So I just like to always put in people's head that really all you need is the iPhone first setup, where all you need is good audio, decent quality video, which all of your iPhones now have, and a tripod.
All right, so then we've got equipment figured out. People get stuck on content. So walk us through, how does Omer plan, script, batch your content?
Great question, Amy. I think the scariest part, people think the scariest part about content and doing this is the actual filming side. And I will be the first to tell you the actual hardest part when it comes to creating content is the ideation part. It's actually coming up with the ideas and saying, okay, what am I going to talk about? Where do I even start, et cetera, et cetera. So what I see a lot of people getting overstimulated and kind of then giving up on is when they try to do it all at once. So if you're going to try to today, but I'm going to film content today, and then you sit down at your desk, and then you're thinking of, okay, what should I film? And then you're like, okay, let me try to film this video, and then you come back to ID. It gets too hectic, you get overwhelmed, you spent 3 hours and you got really nothing out of it. What you need to be doing is the first step in this whole process is a 30-minute ideation sit down, where you're literally just sitting down, you're saying, okay, what do I want to talk about? What ideas do I have, right? So from educational content to property tours, whatever it is, sit down and just plan it out. We're never ideating and filming on the same day. That's going to overstimulate you. It's not going to work. And then when I say ideate too, I'm not sitting here saying you guys need to think of the craziest, coolest ideas. 90% of my content is me just stealing content from other people. How many of us are on our phones every day on Instagram, on TikTok, watching really cool content? We're like, oh, that's an awesome video. Next time you see that, I want you guys to save it. Save it on TikTok, save it on Instagram. And when you come back to your ideation day, make sure you pull those up and you save those. And okay, I'm going to recreate this, but I'm going to change the script from a $500,000 house to a $200,000 house or $1 million house, depending on your market. So you can
Okay,
tweak
I
it
got
to
to
make
put
it
the
more
pause
you.
button on you, Omer, because you
Yeah,
just made two hugely critical points that I want to make sure people don't
sure.
miss. First of all, your ideation day is not your filming day. So many people are like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write a list of 12 ideas, and then I'm going to start recording. And you made a very distinct break there. So planning for both is part of this planning process. The second one you just said is quit trying to be so darn clever and go figure out what other people are doing. Omer, do you have any problem with anyone skimming your Instagram and just getting 15, 20, 30 ideas off of what you already built?
I think it's a compliment.
Be like Omer, be like Barry, be like Liz, be like Samia. You guys,
Totally.
don't reinvent the wheel. It's the whole premise of Star Power. Why would you sit in your own quiet little room and try to figure it out for yourself when these guys are out there already doing it, being successful? Every single one of the stars that you'll find in the club is giving you the fast pass at Disney to get to the head of the line. So quit trying to do it yourself. I'm sorry, Omer, I had to jump it.
No, I love it. This is awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you've talked about doing day in the life clips too. Let's talk about these content types that you use over and over again. You talk about day in the life, you talk about you mentioned your educational stuff, and then of course you do property tours, but you do them a little bit different. So talk to me about content.
100%. I think for me, and I firmly believe this, if any of you guys are listening to this and you walk away with anything, I think it's really just this. I think for me, if you guys can do just either two out of these or all of these, I really think there's only four main pieces of content that agents need to do to actually be successful on socials and get business out of it and, build a brand, right? So for me, it breaks down to at the core heart of it is educational content. You guys might be tired of it, you might see it all the time, but I promise you at the end of the day, this is still the content that puts you up as the authority figure. People watch it, they listen to you, they trust you, and for the most part, like I said, a lot of the things that sound pretty generic and basic to us, someone seeing that, a Joe, a Bob that doesn't sell real estate, seeing this and saying, oh my God, this is awesome. I had no idea. So now you're the authority figure in your space. So educational content's at the core heart of it. Number two is property tour videos. Like I said, our product is real estate. Let's show it off as much as possible. And then also, just a quick point is that the type of real estate that I think you should be posting is the type of real estate you want to sell, right? People are going to always put a stigma slash associate you with something. Make sure you're associating them with something you want. If you want to be the go-to person only in Arlington, Virginia, and that's your county, that's your area, let's show houses in those areas. Let's show condos in those areas, right? And then from there, this is actually my favorite type of video. And I genuinely think it's the easiest way to build a reputation and brand in your town is local business spotlight videos. Everyone sleeps on these, but I think they're the highest leverage and honestly the ones that get the most engagement. Just because, yes, obviously we're selling real estate, but you guys are also selling the lifestyle. You're selling the community. So if you can go out and do these local business spotlight videos where you're going out to local coffee shops, gyms, restaurants, we've done day spas, we've done it all, like attorneys. And I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably already have a bunch of entrepreneur friends or client. And if you're coming and you're saying, hey, let me do a video highlighting you guys and talking about how awesome you are, number one, these business owners end up absolutely falling in love with you. Number two, when you're posting these videos, 9 out of 10 times, these business owners love it so much that they're asking to collaborate with you on the post. So guess what? Now you're reaching their entire pool of followers, who's exactly who the people you want to follow you, because they're the people who live in that area, rent in that area, buy in that area, sell in that area. So I tell everyone, my goal isn't to be the next Ryan Serhant or Glenda Baker, whoever your social media person is. My goal is just to be a local celebrity where people know me and they know me as a real estate guy, and they think real estate, they think Omar, they think Omar, they think real estate, right? So I feel like if everyone can do that same thing in their local markets, I think that's the easiest way to build real brand recognition in your community. And then the last one is just closing videos slash testimonial videos. I think these go further than any Zillow review you could ever get, any Google review you could ever get. It's real life. You can't fake it. And I think people really receive it well. You can put on your Google My Business page, you can put it on your website, and then obviously your socials as well.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, as much as you are in the quote unquote technology of shooting video and doing that every day, you're also jumping into technology that's making you more efficient. So if you would, let's roll to what you're doing, what you created for yourself using ChatGPT to save you a massive amount of time to prepare you for working with clients.
100%. This is probably my most used tool slash item. I wish I had my laptop in front of me to share my screen, but Amy will share this with you guys at the end of it, so you'll still get it. But really, for me, what I did was I created my own custom GPT prompt to just make me sound smart every day. So what I did, I'm sure you guys are the same, where you guys have a gazillion different sites that you love, whether it's Keeping Current Matters or BAM or any site or source that you use, right? For me, like Mortgage News Daily, right? MLS. Those are like my day-to-day stats that I use to kind of sound smart for the day, to know what's going on in my market. And for me, it was kind of annoying having to go to 10 different articles and websites to find all the information I needed. So I created a custom GPT prompt that pretty much put it all in one spot. I put my Bright MLS in there. I put my Keeping Current Matters in there. I put I put all the resources that I use on a regular basis, and I said, hey, I want you to create me a daily report on everything I need to know to sound smart for the day. So I had a couple different key factors. You guys can change it for whatever yours is, whether it was average days on market in a certain area. So I wanted DC, Maryland, Virginia, days on market, whether I wanted to know Mortgage News Daily on what's going on today, what are my rates, what's going on, what's a 15-year, what's a 30-year, and really just everything that I needed to go out on appointments, and my clients are like, oh, I had no idea because no other agent mentioned this to me. And most agents aren't sitting down every morning reading 10 different articles trying to stay up to date for the day. And neither am I. I'm using ChatGPT to do it, but I still have all the information to kind of go out and fire out the day. So those are kind of a couple different things that I did. And Alyssa has made it 10 times better and customized it for you guys. So it'll be sick once you guys get a chance to play with it.
Thank you so much for that. I want to make a couple of points. First of all, a lot of people in the world, not just in our industry, have said AI is going to make us dumber. I think Omer's showing you quite the contrary. He is figuring out how to leverage AI to make him even smarter. And that is where, for those of you who are still hesitating with how you use AI, and I'm going to ask Sammy about this later because she's in one of our AI masterminds, how important it is for you to understand the role of that tool in your life and what it can do for you. Omer, thank you so much for just opening the book and sharing. And again, you guys, if you want to get deep on Omer's stuff, his interview is in the Star Power Club. And I will talk more about that at the end. But we got a lot to get into here. So next, I'd like to jump over to Liz. And Liz, I believe you're going to share some slides. So I just want to make the anchor for you guys that attention and intention, when combined, can create great success. And I really feel, Liz, that's what you did getting into this industry. You said, I'm going to be very intentional about this and be very selective about where I place my attention. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to turn it over to you. You should be able to share yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sure can.
All right, now let's figure out how I share. Hold on a minute. I'll get there. Here we go. Screen
You
share.
know, while Liz
Okay.
is doing that, what I love about this group is everyone is so dramatically unique, and yet they all have such huge hearts and they just give so generously of themselves. So thanks, Omer, and now thanks, Liz. We can see at least I can see your screen just fine. So thank you
Okay.
for jumping in.
No problem. Hi, guys, and bear with me. This is actually a presentation that I gave in Las Vegas last month to a big group of realtors. I won't go through all of it because it will be too long, but there's some really good nuggets in here. So I'll skip over some slides and I'll stop at some. And Amy, you can tell me if I'm going over on time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So what I want to convey, well, I guess one thing I want to convey is that I have been able to, much like Omar, I've been able to build what I would call $1 million pipeline, and I've done it without spending any money at all. So it's been really effective
Wait,
for
did you
me,
guys
and
hear that? She did it without spending money. If you like
yay!
generating business without spending money, raise your hand or drop a heck yeah into the chat for me right now. There we go. Yes, Chandra.
There we go.
All right, go ahead, Liz.
No problem. Thanks, Amy.
Pamela.
So, um, I am just in case you ever need to get a hold of me or need a referral partner, I'm in the Illinois market and now the Wisconsin market I'm licensed in. So I'm hopefully would love to be your go-to agent in those markets. The thing I want to share, and the reason I stress this point, it's not to brag, it's to make sure that I share, it's really to prove why the system I've created for myself works. Like I mentioned on the call, I started at $379,000 in 1 year. That was my total. That was one sale. That's what the home was worth. I didn't make that much money, trust me. I had nothing really going for me, and I really didn't know where to start. This is going to give you just a quick snapshot of what my sales have been over the last 5 years. I haven't updated this since my meeting, but I did end and hit my $38 million goal for 2025. So in 5 years, without spending literally any money, how did I build this pipeline? And this is going into what I want to share with you. Okay, so let me go back to this slide really quick. So the part that got me thinking was I had a client, right? My very first client, the $379,000 home. She wrote me a great review. What got me thinking about that client was someone had told her, like, oh, you should work with Liz. And when she met me, she didn't question anything. Because she was a referral from someone else, she didn't ask me how many years I had been in the business. She didn't ask me how many sales I had under you know under my pocket. She didn't ask me how many 5-star reviews I had. She didn't ask me anything, which was a really big blessing because I was able to get her as a client that way. Because if she had asked me any of those questions, she wouldn't have wanted to work with me. That being said, I really understood at that moment that referral moment means everything, and that is how you can get it's powerful in our business. So I created a 3-step system that's intended to reduce busy work. And what I focus on a lot is automating anything that doesn't build trust. I work very hard to turn my clients into content and my clients into advocates for me. And then how do I show up everywhere? And so one of the key things I want to focus on this call is high impact posting. So instead of posts that are like just listed and hi, like, all the basic stuff you see every realtor do, what can you do that's going to create high impact posting that's going to make people want to stop and think, and how can I actually solve a real problem, right? Maybe instead of saying just listed, I post something around like looking for a 4-bedroom home with a fenced yard, or here's what $600,000 buys you in Libertyville. But really, it can go further than that. So using ChatGPT, which is my best friend, this is one that I made yesterday I'm not even kidding you, 5 minutes. I'm going to show you a few that I made, what I call my high impact posts. And I'm going to actually show you how I do it and how you can do one really quickly. So
And you're
this
doing
one,
it in Canva, right, Liz?
I'm gonna blow your mind, Amy.
Okay.
Yes, I should be doing these in Canva, but
No, don't
let me
shoot on yourself, Liz. Do not
No, I'm
shoot.
telling you, but I don't even have to now. So because I've been talking to my chat GPT so much, it really understands my personality. It understands what I want. So I want to give you an example. So I'm actually going to go to chat GPT. So here's one. I'm going to do a whole different one now just to show you. So let me start a new chat. Hi, or not hi. I want to create a social media post conveying that, um, let's see, hold on. Conveying that I have several listings coming on the market. I'll do a different town in Vernon Hills, Illinois. I want to ensure I stay compliant with NAR regulations. I want to entice people to want to reach out if they are thinking about buying a home, right? I just put whatever I want to put.
Yep.
And then I click it and it's gonna come up with, and I always put that I want it to be to comply with NAR regulations. And that really helps me. So it gives me a few examples. I could do one that says coming soon in Vernon Hills. I'm already bored with that. No, thank you. It's going to tell me some ideas for graphics, and I'm going to say, I want more punchy and eye catching.
Love it.
And again, this is like the process I go through, and it comes through and it gives me all this stuff. But what's really cool is I don't like what this one's giving me, so I'm gonna go over here real quick. So back to my presentation, I did this exact thing yesterday. And what I love is, look at this headline: before these Libertyville homes hit the market, dot, dot, dot. Now imagine if I post that not just on my social media page, but I post it in like a Vernon Hill or Libertyville, what's going on in the community page. I'm going to probably ruffle some feathers with that one, because some agents are going to say, oh my gosh, is she trying to sell homes that aren't, listed yet? No, I had all of this go through the compliance check on ChatGPT, which helped me. Nothing is specific. I'm not talking about a specific home. I'm saying I have several homes coming soon in Libertyville at various price points. Then I mentioned in 2025, my team helped more clients sell more homes in Libertyville than any other agent based on MLS closed sales, which gives my buyers a real advantage: early awareness of listings before they hit the open market. What I'm wanting to communicate is that if you want to know about things that aren't listed yet, call me. And I'm able to communicate that while still towing the line and not getting myself in hot water. So that was one that I created within a few minutes. One thing I've learned on ChatGPT, and I'm going to go back to this one that I was working on. I'm going to say, I don't want to use Canva. Please make me a graphic like Canva would. And it's not that I can't take all the great recommendations ChatGPT will give me and go do it in Canva, but I'm lazy. And sometimes I just want it faster than that. So because I said I don't want to use Canva and just do it for me, now
I
it's going
prefer the word
to come
efficient,
up with
Liz.
and then it's
I
going
don't
to come
think
up
you're
with
lazy.
something just like this one here. And let's see what it comes up with any minute now. So again, that's working. And that's how I'm creating some high impact posts. There it is. That's not me, but we'll work on the picture. And that's not my name, but we'll work on that. But that's what I want. And then boop, I can say, now use my photo, name, broker, and
Phone number.
team. Yeah, all that. So, and then it'll redo it. It'll look like me. And it's going to come back looking something like this. And that's how I get these high impact posts. Here's another one that I made literally while I was waiting for the call to start. It's a little it says, not every Libertyville home hits the market. That's going to get some attention. Again, I've been turned in before by agents who get so pissed by my posts, and then come to find out they've got nothing, and I'm never in trouble because I've always had it checked and run through ChatGPT. And again, it's hitting on the same exact thing. So the next thing I was starting to work on, um, that I wanted to show you guys really quick. Let me go to ChatGPT. So like Omar mentioned, you can actually like go back and find like different things, but no, that's not the one. This one. Okay, so I'm working on a post right now, which is going to say something like every home sold in 2025 gives back. I already on my own work very closely with foster care kids in my community. I'm already donating my time and my money. So I was thinking about it. Why am I not turning that into a marketing strategy? Hey, when you work with me, Liz, I am going to be able to contribute. The more business I do, the more kids I get to help. So I'm going to donate $200 to every child, to children in foster care with every transaction that I have. And so there's the image that it was able to create for me. And then it gave me, if I scroll back up, it'll give me all my text that I'm going to write, something like homes change lives, so can we. In 2025, for every home bought or sold with me, $200 will be donated by myself and Leslie McDonald team to support children in foster care, blah, 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 blah. So I'm able to create high impact posting, and something like this, you guys, is going to be very shareable. People are going to want to share this. When someone asks in a local Facebook group, hey, anyone have a good realtor they can recommend? If someone asks us on, I don't know, do you guys have, I know we have it here in Illinois, but it's this like app called Nextdoor. I don't know if that's a national app, but
It
when
is.
someone says who can recommend a local realtor, I guarantee you I'm going to get so many people being like, wait a minute, I got to find it. There was this one realtor and she donates money to foster care when you work with her. Like, why don't you? I know I'm going to get a ton of play from doing this. So I'm excited
And
about that.
let me just
Going back,
acknowledge Sandy Hayes' comment. She's in the state of Missouri, and it's considered an inducement to buy or sell and disallowed. So just know what your state rules are because it varies state to state. And there may be a way for you to adapt it with different language so that it's not an inducement. So do your homework. We are not
yes,
attorneys at Star Power. We are an idea factory, and you need to do
yep,
your own due diligence.
absolutely, absolutely. The other thing I wanted to mention, again, whenever I whenever I have a listing, even if I've already, we've all been there, right? I've had listings where I literally have it sold within 24 hours, but I still make sure my clients are posting on their own Instagrams, their own social media, everything. They're posting, hey, my house is for sale. And they're posting it with my photo at the bottom of it. They're posting it with my photo at the bottom, and they're like, hey, call my realtor Liz if you want to see my home. What it's doing is giving an endorsement for me that I didn't give myself. I also asked them to go in those local community groups and post it, because you can't, as a realtor in a lot of those groups, you can't go and post and they're like, hey, work with me, work with me. But a client can in the ones that I'm in. So my clients can say, hey, my home is for sale. And if you want to see it, call my realtor Liz. Well, now everybody who's looking at that page, whether they're looking for a home or not, they're gaining brand awareness about me, and that lots of people like to choose me as their realtor. So, and candidly, I'm the only one in my local market that I'm seeing really do this consistently. And
So I
that's been
really want
powerful.
to anchor on this, Liz, because some people say, what did she just say? Did she say she's actually contacting a client and telling them to go post on her behalf?
Yes. So I'm going to show you two powerful things. So the first thing I showed you was this, which is
Yep.
when I have a new listing, I stated that the one over on the left, her name was Jamie Carter. I said, Jamie, I sent her the image via text, and I sent her what I wanted her to write. And I said, can you please post this on Libertyville Moms? And she did exactly what I asked her to do. Our beautiful home is on the market. Oak Grove School is an amazing neighborhood. To set up a private showing, call Liz Turnbar, our realtor, with my phone number. Now everybody is seeing that Jamie Carter thinks I'm the best realtor to choose in Libertyville. Even if I have that house already under contract or I'm negotiating a deal as we speak, I still want her to post it, because it's a walking billboard for myself that I didn't pay for or post. It's very, very powerful. And I do that with every single listing. The next piece that I do is, again, these Facebook groups are really incredibly powerful for me, and they can be for you too. So once a client especially a client that buys a home with me in that community, like let's say they buy a home in, Gurnee, Illinois. I'm going to Gurnee and Beyond or Gurnee Neighbors or Gurnee Moms. I'm going to every Gurnee like group that I can, and I'm going to invite my new buyers to be part of those groups. And I'm doing it for two reasons. One, hey, I want to make sure you are getting connected to your community. You know where to go to ask questions if you have, all the basic stuff people ask in those groups. But also, I'm doing it selfishly so that when someone posts something and says, hey, I'm looking for a realtor recommendation, imagine we've all seen those posts, right? I'm looking for a realtor. Can someone recommend someone? Usually there's like 40, 50, 60 responses. And I remember thinking, God, I wish one person would recommend me. That'd be so cool. Imagine if two or three or even five people recommended you. Or imagine if, like, I don't know, 37 of the 60 responses were all about you. Just imagine. This is an example of how that can happen. And I am going to tell you the secret to it happening. So this was in Libertyville Moms. Someone said, I'm looking for a local realtor. Who can everyone recommend? There were literally 60 responses, and half of them were my name. What I did is I got something that is not everyone has, but it's really valuable. And I really want you guys to hear me. I I have the audacity. I have the audacity to text my clients. Hey, Erica, how are you? How's the fam? Hey, do you mind if you have a quick second? Here's a post that was in Libertyville Moms. Would you mind giving me a shout out? Hey, Bianca, I miss you. I hope all is well. Hey, would you mind recommending me on this post if you get a second to log on to Facebook? I have had such an amazing response by simply asking my clients to do it. Not only do they do it, the best part is I have started to train them to do it without me asking. I will get text messages. I was in a listing appointment yesterday morning. I was in a listing appointment. It was a 2-hour appointment, a long one. I get out, I look at my phone, and I had 3 clients. Liz, I just posted about you. And I'm like, what that means is they saw someone ask for a realtor. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't asked them to do it, but they know I want them to do it because I've
And
asked them in the
imagine he
past.
like done that stuff for us. Let me see
It's
what she looks like.
brilliant that you're conditioning people. The other thing you said at the beginning that I want to make sure people don't miss is that you have invited them to groups when they move into a new community. I'm
Yes.
sure if I took a show of hands on that, we'd have a low, if any, hands raised that anybody has done that. That is freaking brilliant, Liz.
It's like the most, it's just part of my process, and anybody can do this. And right here, I'm showing you real screenshots from my phone. These are real screenshots. The one on the first one, it's me showing the post. Hey, would you mind chiming in on this group chat if you can? That's all I wrote. That was me. Right there is the moment of me having the audacity. There was my audacity. Go to the next one. Here's one where I send her the post. Please chime in if you can. She writes, I already did. So between the time that I started writing the text to her, she had already seen it and already, this is what's happening. This is
Brilliant.
crazy, and it's crazy powerful. And it has taken me from $379,000 in sales to $38 million in sales in 5 years. I swear to you guys, I don't do any billboards. I don't do any shopping carts. I don't do any Facebook ads. I spend $0, but my clients are referring me like crazy in these community groups, and it's working. So
Brilliant.
you have to have the audacity to ask for it. I have more stuff, but that's like
That is the
the
key thing I
yeah.
had hoped you would tackle, and you
Yes.
delivered it beautifully. Liz, thank you so, so
Thank
much.
you.
So I don't want to hear anybody saying they don't have a budget to spend because you don't need it. Liz just proved you don't need it. And
You do
frankly, so
not need
did
it.
Omar. Once you get past the equipment cost, there wasn't any cost in what he shared either. Now I want to swing in the direction of Barry. So let me just bring my screen back up real quick. Mr. Barry Jenkins.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I saw you getting a little bit of shade about a picture where you didn't have your white frames on. So I'm glad to see you're representing today.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's so honored to be here, and I I loved Omer and Liz's presentation. It was so interesting to see how both of them are using their skills and their gifts to grow their businesses. It's really fun.
Isn't it cool that all four of you,
Hmm.
very successful,
Hmm.
different markets, different approaches, all doing something that is absolutely working. So, Barry, you're in
Well,
Virginia Beach. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. Totally different market than Chicago, totally different market than DC.
oh yeah.
So, tell us your magic secrets, Barry.
Well, I uh I'm always about leveling up. I'm always about taking what I have and turning it into something more and more efficient. AI certainly can save us time, right? It can save us money. And the other thing it can do, it actually help us to do a better job of things that we are currently doing. And so, in the spirit of leveling up, I get to show value to a lead that I might not have been able to do previously, or candidly, I wouldn't want to. And I'll explain what I mean in a moment. First, let me say this. When it comes to buying leads from Google, they lack clarity around their needs, and this is why when you get a lead from Google or Facebook, and we're talking about a lead anywhere from $2 to $20 per lead, and you ask them, what kind of home they want. It is normal that they say to you, I'm not sure, call me in 6 months. And this is why most of you don't buy leads from Google or Facebook, because you want to talk to a consumer that when you ask them what they want, they tell you, or they say, can we meet? And guess what? I want those too. But I realized a long time ago that I could scale my 90 agent team a lot faster and a lot cheaper if I could find a way to be relevant to the consumer that doesn't know what they want yet. And so to be able to do that, you have to lead them. And also, you have to stay relevant. And that's kind of what I want to focus on in my 8-minute chat. And you're going to have to keep me honest with that, Amy. I'm going to focus on building value, and you just interrupt me when my time is getting close, please.
Okay,
Um,
go for it, Barry.
so I want to specifically talk about lead nurture. I could talk about initial lead conversion, but I really want to focus on lead nurture. I have the absolute honor of crafting the communication for Ylopo's AI voice and AI text. And so what I write and how I write it has the opportunity to be sent to millions of leads a day. And so I'm able to see in real time what works and what doesn't. And let me be clear, if you talk to a lead that says they want to buy in 6 months, what doesn't work when you're nurturing them is, hey, touching base, hey, seeing how it's going, hey, just wanted to see how the home search is coming along. Hey, just wanted to see how your son's doing from that basketball injury that he had last week. While these things are relationally oriented, these people do not know you yet, right? Liz is able to press into the relationship she has because they have become fans of hers. If she was a bad agent, her asking for recommendations would backfire. They would literally go on and say, do not use Liz. But because Liz is a fantastic agent, her clients are her advocate. But when you're buying a lead online that's looking for homes for sale in XYZ city, they're not emotionally vested in you, and you're a stranger. And even worse, you're a salesperson. Leading with value gives your clients two things. One, they know that you're an agent that is in touch, and you're leading them down the path of discovery. It's incredibly valuable. I don't know a lot of people in my life that when I get done talking to them, I get off the call or the conversation having discovered more about myself. To be able to add value at scale to leads is not a trivial exercise. And I'm going to show you guys using AI two fun ways to do that. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to send a request to share my screen.
You
And
got it.
when I had the opportunity, if you're not a Star Power member, let me just say they have not asked me to say any of this, but I had the privilege of being at the Salt Lake City conference. And what struck me was just the high volume of fantastic real estate practitioners that were in the room. I actually, went out for drinks with Samia, and I just liked her vibe. I didn't know she was a big shot, right? I found out later, right? And so when you're at these events and you're at these masterminds, you really get to start to experience real estate in a new way. The first thing I want to show you is going to ChatGPT. Now I like Whisper Flow. It's you don't need to buy it necessarily, but I really do not like typing that much. And so I went to Whisper Flow and I just started talking to ChatGPT. You could use just the dictate button, by the way. You don't have to be fancy. And I just simply said, I want you to pretend that you are a local real estate agent in Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads. That's the greater market that I'm in. I want you to analyze current market trends, on market days, home values, anything that shows that I'm studying the market carefully. Then write a short, engaging SMS that will be sure to drive engagement and show that I'm paying attention to the market so that I can get sellers to convert. Nothing super fancy about what I wrote. If I wanted to be fancy, I would use what Alyssa recommends, Prompt Cowboy. But here's what ChatGPT did. It analyzed some public market data from Zillow and my local MLS, and then it wrote this text message. And honestly, I would probably change this text. I wouldn't copy and paste it. Quick market snapshot. Home values are climbing, inventory is rising, well-priced properties are under contract fast. I wasn't satisfied with that. So I said, show more data. Hey, I am Barry, tracking the Virginia Beach Hampton Roads market. Here's what the numbers say. Average home values in Virginia Beach are around 410, with pending in the high 20s on 20 days, median prices near 370. Buyers are writing more offers than last winter. If you have thought about selling but want no pressure, accurate value updates based on real local data, just text back yes, and I'll send it over. I wasn't satisfied with that either, so I said show numbers. Then it says, the average is 412, average days on market 27 to 32, median sales prices up 6% year over year across our region. The median sale price is near 367 with 31 days. Shorten it. Quick VAB market check I just ran. Homes are in the average about 412, going under contract in 28 to 32 days. Home prices are still up 5 to 6%. Inventory is higher than last winter, but buyers are absolutely still writing offers on well-priced home. Curious what this means for your place specifically, right? So all you saw me do was do something I personally don't enjoy, which is study rich market data. Some of you might enjoy it. I would rather just quickly show value. And I will tell you, at my team meeting 2 weeks ago, I went through a similar exercise. I wordsmithed this final text a few times. Again, wasn't satisfied with starting the message with quick VAB market check. That's not my vibe. I didn't think it would work. We reframed it a little bit using these data points, 412, 5-6, 28 to 30 days. What I'm doing when I am sending a cold text to a cold lead that maybe I talked to 3 months ago and hasn't responded, what I'm doing is I'm showing relevancy, expertise, and value in 100 words or less. And I had my agent send this, and we did the same thing, but we did it for buyers. So we had a seller one and we did a buyer. And I'm just going to say, I like this last text. Do the same thing for buyers, right? So now it's going to say that combo is creating pockets of opportunity if you move with a plan. Want me to flag the homes where buyers are actually winning now? See, they can't go to Zillow and type a natural language request like that. So what I'm doing is I'm offering a unique selling proposition that makes me different than Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com. The agent that's winning today in the digital marketing lead conversion space is able to offer a lead something that they cannot find on their own. And it doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of time to be able to bring this value together. What it means is you have to actually start to think about the consumer. What do they want, right? And I've done that for you in short fashion. I've been able to tell you sellers want and buyers want value, and they want it in bite-sized ways that make it relevant for them. And so if you go through this exercise for your respective real estate market and then ask ChatGPT to write the text in an engaging way, you're going to see this. Now, again, I'm not satisfied with the way ChatGPT wrote this. So I'm going to probably say, good morning, John, thinking about your home search and the fact that homes on average are around 30 days on market. Inventory is actually up. And so sellers are starting to negotiate at certain price points. That combo is creating an opportunity for you right now. Would you like me to pick out a couple houses for you? So that's more natural to my market and my area. And so you can't be lazy when you're doing this. You have to still use your brain. MIT did a study not too long ago. People that are asking AI to think for them are using a significantly less percentage of their brain than people that are still thinking critically. And I believe that in not just real estate, but all professions, there's going to be a great divide. The great divide is the practitioners of using their brain and critical thinking and those that are not. Have you noticed on social media that suddenly everyone is a great copywriter and they love emojis? And it's funny to me because we know that they don't use emojis normally, nor do they normally use M and N dashes, but suddenly they're perfectly written text and people are not reading them. It's because they're starting to become used to everyone using AI. So when everyone goes left, you go right, right? And so having a high value approach to your long-term text campaigns, your social media posts, you are going to set yourself apart as a thought leader in your industry. Another thing I did, I actually had the opportunity to meet with Alyssa's mastermind for Star Power on AI. And I used the analogy of these different LLMs, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Grok, and how each of them should be viewed as kind of like a different golf club, right? Could I get down the fairway with a 3-iron? Yeah, I could. Would it be pretty? No. Would I get under par? Would I do a good job? Probably not. And so while ChatGPT is a fantastic generalist, some of the other LLMs are going to afford you the opportunity to research data in a more robust way. So I went to Google Gemini, which is great for casting a wide net of data. And I asked it to find relevant events in the city of Virginia Beach that could impact home values. It pulled a recent event that the Seaside Middle School STEM program, which is for academics, was being redistricted. And it was able to find a recent school board study. And as you can see, policy context, quantification of overcrowding, yada, 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 geographic attendance zone analysis, programmatic assessment. I mean, gosh, look at this. Just so much stuff that I personally do not feel like reading. I'm scrolling for effect, by the way. I'm scrolling and look at all the sources. VB Schools, ResearchGate, Kempsville Middle School, Corporate Landing, Redfin, YouTube, VB Schools again, PCSB.org. I mean, all of this stuff. I copied it, right? I copied Google Gemini's assessment. I took it over to Claude. Claude is uniquely gifted as an AI to really research or analyze a lot of data. And I asked Claude to take this massive data and pull specific strategies of things that homeowners would be interested in. And it discovered, based on the school board's findings, that rental demand is school agnostic. You're buying a family buyer discount, and the point of view capacity fixes, stabilizes the area. So it found a few talking points that homeowners would be really, really interested in. Some other things it found, homeowners in the new zone, the impacts, families buying into that area. And then I went and I took it over to ChatGPT, which is a fantastic copywriter. I might critique it, but it's still really, really good. And I took Claude's analysis of all of that Google Gemini data, and I asked it to actually start to work on angles, right? And so control the timing, not the headlines. Quick heads up. Homes impacted by the new middle school rezoning are starting to split into two pricing tracks. No crash, just slower appreciation over time. The sellers doing best are the ones who act before the gap fully shows up. So the thing about this is, this affects about 100 homeowners in the Kempsville area of Virginia Beach. They are very aware of the school redistricting for these 100 homes, right? And so sending this text message to one of those 100 homeowners is like a lightning rod of relevancy. And another one would be fundamentals. I'm watching buyers shift how much weight they put in school zoning versus lifestyle, beach proximity, and neighborhood and home condition. That window won't stay open forever. Curious if you want to know, Prasher, read on how buyers view your home. Again, a lightning rod of relevancy. Turning policy. Yeah, thank you. Am I getting close to my 8 minutes? I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, you are.
All right. And so what I want you guys to see in this exercise, okay, is you have the ability to be hyper relevant to a hyper segment, whether it's citywide, school zones, asking some well phrased, well timed, well thought out questions for your local market. If you just decide every 2 to 3 weeks to ask AI to do this for you, you are going to show yourself as different. And the play here is when they respond to you, all right? I want you to say, I don't care what the positive sentiment is. So glad to hear it. Sounds good. That's great. When do you have 5 minutes to chat? The text response is fantastic. You'll get a lot of them. The phone call is designed to ask them questions about their story. My favorite question is, if you were to sell your home in the next 6 to 12 months, would you stay local or would you move out of town? As they start to share you with their story, I want you to find ways to be relevant to them. Now, that could be many different things. It could be getting them a contractor, a staging consult. But my favorite for sellers is this. This is a nugget for you guys. It's to celebrate the fact that they're not even close to being ready to sell. It's the best news you heard all day. I'm so glad you're not ready. And as you say that, then say, I specialize in working with people that aren't ready. I want to schedule a 15-minute walkthrough of your home. You're going to waste a bunch of money fixing it and wasting money on repairs that aren't relevant. I need to look at your home like a buyer to save you money. Now, I do these appointments Wednesday afternoons or Saturday mornings. What works best for you? You're going to get in these homes. You're going to bring a CMA. You're going to bring a pricing analysis after you walk the home and you hopefully have saved them money. Hey, while I'm here, why don't I go over pricing analysis with you? Hopefully you have good news for them on the value of their home. Hey, I know you're not ready to sell, but now that I've gone over the value of your home, would you like me to talk about how I market my listings? You have just backdoored into a listing presentation and sped up naturally a homeowner. And I'm just telling you from a social science perspective, and after 27 years in the industry, you are going to get more listings if you use this strategy. There you go.
Barry, this is genius. I love it. I hope you all wrote down these 2 things. If you were to sell in the next 6 to 12 months, where would you go? That's one. And this one, my favorite, I'm so glad you're not ready to sell. What does that do? It immediately drops their defenses because they think the only reason you're talking to them is because you want them to sell right now. And you just peeled that right off. You just pulled it right out of the equation. So brilliant. Barry, thank you so much. You guys feel free to drop in the chat. By the way, Barry's interview just dropped in October inside the Star Power Club. And if you like what he just shared in this short window of time, you're going to love the whole freaking interview. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Samia, there's a reason I saved you for the end. You know, when you're lining up 4 relay runners, you put the person you know is going to finish strong. Samia, you just have embraced every aspect of change in this business one by one with such curiosity and conviction. And I'm so glad that you said yes to being with us today. So where would you like to start today?
My pleasure. I'd like to start with what I love to do, which is collaborate.
Mm,
I joined Star Power, gosh, when was Naples? I don't remember, but
96.
thank you. I got in real estate in 87. I I used to teach realtors how to use word processing when I came into the market. I had business plans. People go, what's a business plan? My broker goes, just give me one sheet. How many homes you're gonna hold open? Um, how many sales you want? Nothing detailed. So I had a business coach when I first started, and I believe that you need to have a roadmap as to where you're going. Excuse me. And one of my goals was to go to the NAR convention in 1992. And I happened to have birthed my daughter in September of that year. And I said, I'm still going. So I took my daughter with me. It was in Hawaii, and I'm in California, still a distance. I also took a Women's Council Realtors class, 2-day class, and that event.
With a
And
2-month-old, you guys. No big
and I,
deal.
and I had a babysitter, and I was still breastfeeding, so not to get in details, but you still had to take care of that. And I'm so proud of that because you have to have goals, no matter what they are. Aim high, don't aim low because that's where you're comfortable. Get outside your comfort zone. I'm always getting outside my comfort zone. I thought maybe I had 10 more years left 2 years ago, and a friend of mine, Don Hobbs, said, no, you're not done yet. And I'm just so glad I'm in a new company. I got so energized, and then I had to do video. And I'm like, oh my God, video? I don't like to do video. I do not like to do video. And it took me a while.
By the way, tell him what your husband Tom's career was.
Well, my husband is a serial entrepreneur. So we're both, I mean, I was at Apple, like I mentioned, and I was in other tech companies. So my background was tech, and everybody thinks Tom is a tech guy, but when something breaks, it comes to me.
No, you said video. That's what made me think of Tom.
So Tom had a company that was audio video text, and or no, he had terminals all over the Northern California area where you had a touch screen, and this was in the early 90s. And nobody wanted to touch the screen, if you can believe that, because we didn't have any of that stuff going around. So he's always been ahead of his time, and now he's in his last startup because I got him to get his license, and he's helping TV manufacturers and broadcasters manage how they count their ads so they know what they're paying for and how to be most effective in streaming and regular analog TV or regular TV. So that's what he's doing in the other office. But it is his last startup, so he better do it well. Anyway, so I learned early on, before even going to NAR, that being involved with organizations such as CRS, Women's Council, before I even got into Star Power, is super important so that you can expand your referral network. Just like Liz was saying, the best compliment you can get is a referral from your client. Having another agent respect you enough to send you her client, his client, and that comes with a lot of course, confidence to the prospective buyer or seller, is the greatest compliment you can have. My favorite story on collaboration is also at Star Power. We were in the dead of summer, hot, humid New Orleans, and we all went out dancing. And I bought a lot of water to pour on people's heads because it was so hot. Well,
Oh my
Randy
goodness.
Keys at that event introduced me or got to know me. And then he referred this gentleman who was doing a startup in the Bay Area. And from that person, I got 3 other transactions. So Star Power is so key in your learning, in your collaboration, and increasing your business. And Amy did not pay me to say that. So join groups in your area. I joined the Mothers Club when I was early in my childhood birthing career, if you will. I got business from that. And it's just about showing up, giving back, and being genuine. When I was struggling to get to do videos, I'd go to the coast to get a beautiful view, and my hair would be blowing, and I'm had my hair is thinning, and I'm like, oh God, I don't like that. And I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Authenticity is what you should be embracing. Now, AI, I love AI. I have a group of realtors in the area that I'm doing masterminds with them. We meet every month. And I noticed when we have quarterly, we do an event at my house and we have wine tasting. We have 1,700 bottles of wine. And I'm like, okay, come on, you guys, we're not going to drink these by ourselves. So we have everybody over and it's a relaxed atmosphere and we all talk and we promise to talk about AI. And then I noticed that people were just not very comfortable. So I said, okay, I'm going to do an AI mastermind. I'm going to do a Zoom. So you guys don't feel uncomfortable. You could just watch, you can contribute, you can ask. So we've been doing that. And when I started doing AI, it was a little overwhelming, but AI can help you so much. I'm recently been trying to find a VA. And I had so many resumes from this group that has given me a lot of people from which to choose. And I'm like, I don't have time to read all these resumes and look at their publicity and their VCs and I'm like, I gotta have chat help me. So I put all the VAs in chat and it gave me the criteria. But you can't do that without teaching chat about you. That's the first thing you need to do. You need to tell chat. I told chat where I came from, how we immigrated from Egypt, where we lived, what I love to do, what I don't like to do, my personality profile. I gave it images of what I've done in my career. I've also gotten a hold of somebody who actually spent real money to get this questionnaire to give to chat. And I did it by voice because I wanted chat to hear my tone because text has no tone, email has no tone. So when you guys get an email and you get upset about the word somebody's using, you don't know the tone you're using. So be careful not to be quick to respond to that. But the bottom line is, it's just, I used to think, oh, chat, okay, chat is chat. There's so much you could do with chat. I have a custom GPT from somebody about finding the ideal buyer. Well, I took that and I had a listing that hadn't sold, and I said, okay, tell me who the ideal buyer is. And then and then it said, do you want me to generate some scripts for different videos that you can do to attract the investor, the first-time buyer, the people who are downsizing? And I said, sure. And I created 4 videos and I posted them. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So for the VAs I'm interviewing, can I share my screen?
Yep.
I'd have to
Let me
wear my
stop mine.
glasses. Um, so this is, whoops, it's another chat. Okay, so you could see up here, can you see the top? These are all
Yep.
my chats. I don't close them. I just have a chat that I've gotten involved with talking and doing this. I leave it and then I go back. I had problems with my phone. It wasn't sending text messages with the iMessage. I went to chat, VA dialogue. Okay, why is a decision good for you? Where are you? Here's the top choice. Here's the second person. Why is that a person? Um, Here is, give them a test and then be careful how you choose them. And then I found myself that I was using 2 different windows to talk about the VAs, and it said, don't worry, just save it as this and we'll combine them. Um, I love the one that Omar shared with us a while ago, but look at all these. These are like scripts, role playing, so much you can create custom GPTs. These are my custom GPTs. Buyer closing practice, seller role play, um, viral video. I belong to a group with Carrie Sove, I mentioned her at the conference. She's incredible, everything she does with her AI twin. And I'm working on my HeyGen. I didn't like the last one, but I'm gonna get better. Um, Deep research. So there's so much you can have and save, pay the darn $20. Don't tell me you can't afford $20 because then you can save things. If you don't pay for it, you can't save what you've done and have everything in a project.
Very true.
Okay? Analyzing a VA. Your year with Chat, gee, I haven't looked at that. Thank you. Um, I'm hosting an event at my association that I bid on for Kilimanjaro Kids. And instead of having Alexis to myself, I said, let's do it at our association. And I'm going to be promoting Star Power because that's how I got to be at this opportunity to have Alexis, who I consider to be the queen of scripts. So we're going to do it, Alexis, Greg Newman, and Chat GPT. Would
Fun.
that be fun? So don't be afraid. Um, and the last thing I wanted to say is be authentic. I do the lifestyle videos as well, but also for properties, make sure you're in the video. Okay? Make sure you're involved in that property and show it around. I didn't used to do that till this year. But check out something called Lovable. I need to redo my website, and I've used Lovable. Our founder of our company has, Meta stopped using Workplace, and he took us to Slack, and none of us like Slack. He spent 2 weeks with Lovable and did something even better than what Workplace was. So don't be afraid of AI. Collaborate with your fellow agents, even in your own community. I used to only associate and collaborate with people outside my community and not anymore because we're all in this together and you have a better chance of getting your listing or your buyers, the property or the listing sold if you know the other agent on the other side.
Absolutely. And you are the queen of local collaboration. You are so well respected in your community, Samia. You guys, Samia mentioned having a roadmap. And so I just want to anchor, you've picked up a lot of great ideas today. You need to start just by assessing what your current reality is. What do you truly need right now? There are plenty of shiny objects to chase, and AI, like all other technology, becomes a huge black hole if you don't have an intention and focus when you head into it. So just be clear on what your current reality is. Look at what you already have in place. Don't necessarily go spending money until you figure out the effectiveness of the tools you already have. This market in 2026 is about returning to fundamentals. So, how good is your seller communication? If your listings are going to stay on the market longer, you better go back and check just how well am I staying in touch with the people who already hired me. And then Barry touched just, pipeline management, which is also nurturing, staying in touch with people. I'm so glad you went there, Barry, because that's where people fall down. They may buy the leads, they may make the first contact, but they miss the boat on, even if you're holding open houses, you guys. What are you doing after the open house? How are you staying in contact with those people? You better all be putting a marketing plan in place. One of the biggest things that makes me groan as a coach is somebody starting over at the beginning of every month and saying, well, what should I do this month? Be strategic. Look at the whole year. See, begin with the end in mind, like Stephen Covey told you. And then AI becomes an integration. I'm like Sammy. I'm so in love with ChatGPT. There is not a conversation I won't have with Tallulah, which is what I named my account. And it's incredible. The more you educate ChatGPT about who you are, how helpful it can be. And I think you saw that with Liz and the ads that she's generating.
Can I say one thing about that? I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Is please, please, please do not put confidential information in your chat. There's a great resource called Whoozee that is firewalled. And I know that Amy mentioned something about it earlier, but it's protect yourself. I had to do an analysis for my tax returns, and I would have been dead if I had used Chat GPT. So be very careful. Don't put your offers without blanking out the names, etc. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Samia. So I want to circle back because you guys have literally demonstrated in this Zoom exactly what Star Power is about. I see Sandy Hay on this call, and she's been with us in the family of Star Power for a number of years. She understands the value, and it's the combination of what everyone said, but beyond that, it's the relationships created in this community. These guys bring their best practices. They are on top of their game. They're from every franchise, independent, own their own shop, and they just give it to you. They say, here's what I'm doing to be successful. Where else can you find that? Our stars and the communities we've built, they vacation together, they invest together, they go through tragedy together, they celebrate each other's victories. I mean, you guys, the more successful you get in your market, the less people are going to, in your market, are going to want to be close to you. So these are people who want you to win. Barry, Samia, Liz, Omer, they all want you to win, and you have the opportunity to have access to these amazing people on a regular basis. So, because I'm that person, I want to give you guys a special offer. I feel so strongly. I was a product of Star Power. I was a little baby agent back in the early 90s myself. I had the good fortune to go to work with one of the top producers in the market I was in, Purdue Country, West Lafayette, Indiana. And I found out about Star Power in 1993, you guys, and I became a product of this incredible community where people just give freely, pick up the phone when you call, answer your texts and your emails, and say, yeah, here's what you need to do. So you can struggle in 2026. You can just keep doing what you've been doing, or you can get dialed in and connected to something that will help you right now and every day for the rest of your career. So, just briefly, for those of you who aren't on the club, it's not just the interviews. We also are doing live weekly calls starting in February. Every single Wednesday, something will be happening for our club members. That is for the rest of your club membership. And our community is extremely interactive, and they're there for you. There are also resources through the newsletters, like I mentioned, and we do a monthly speakeasy that gets recorded, which is live and interactive, where you can ask the star on the call any question you want to. You can take advantage of all of that. I could give you testimonials all day long. I couldn't ask for better than what the speakers gave you today, and I didn't ask them to do that. That's just how we all feel from the bottom of our hearts about what Star Power has done for our lives. So if you're looking for a place to land where everybody wants you to win and you've got something feeding you, real world, tactical, practical stuff, you need to get on the club and you need to join us at conference. So here's the link. Alyssa will drop it in the chat. You can get club for $300 off right now. And if you make no other investment in yourself this year other than that, I know you all get plenty of access to free Zooms. I probably get 10 invitations a day myself. This is about people who are in it to win it and do it alongside of you. So grab that link, and let me just leave you with this final truth. You can react to the market, or you can become the agent who's leading it. And I think the big winners in 2026 are going to be the ones who step up and lead. So get yourself on the club. I did promise you the custom marketing brief GPT that Alyssa on our team built. She's been hiding behind a logo this whole time, but you'll see her probably on the general session stage again at conference. She's an absolutely brilliant woman, and she's driving the efforts for marketing here at Star Power. She built this custom GPT based on the criteria that Omer had originally put together on his and put it on steroids, as he said. So you can scan that QR code, or Alyssa, if you can drop this tiny URL down here into the chat, that would also be super helpful. What questions in closing do you guys have? I thank you for hanging in the whole time. You're amazing. This has been a fantastic group to work with. What can we answer in closing for any of you? Oh my gosh, I did not get all of your comments read. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Lana. You know where to find us. Any questions you have, you're welcome, GT. Amy at starpower.com. I'm available to you at any time. That's club special, by the way, is only for tonight. I'm not going to give you a week to make a decision because I know how realtors are. You sleep and you forget. So you either get it now or you don't get it. Just get it taken care of, okay? Pamela, did you have a question?
No.
Okay. All right, you guys, signing off. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you all. Let us know what we can do to help. And thanks again to Sammy, Barry, Liz, and Omar for
Thank you,
giving us so
everybody.
much today. You guys are great.